My name is Melanie Main, and I've been a patient of Dr. Handoo's for a while, and I don't remember how I initially found him, but he's definitely the best psychiatrist I've ever had. I have a very long history of anxiety and depression. Really, since I was about 10 years old, I had made a couple of suicide attempts in the past, and had been really struggling heavily with suicidal thoughts just constantly. I think I maxed out the list of medications. You know, there's a certain number of medications that you can list. I tried everything, and either I'd feel better for a little while and then it's like it just did nothing, or there were really bad side effects. I never had a whole lot of success with medications. For about over 20 years, I've been seeing different psychiatrists and getting cycled through different meds, different therapies. I was nervous about starting ketamine for a lot of reasons. I didn't know what it would be like, and I don't like getting IVs. And so honestly, the IV thing was kind of a big, like, I don't know. I was also really nervous because I had been through so many different trials and medications and treatments and stuff before, and I did not want to spend that much money on something that wasn't going to end up helping me, and so that was a really scary aspect of it. My internal world is completely different now than it was. It's really strange to even try to describe it, because it's like my brain was scrambled, but in a good way, to where I could kind of it's like there was a puzzle in there that was put together wrong, but the pieces were like glued down and I couldn't do anything about it. And the ketamine kind of helped me break those pieces apart so I could put the puzzle back together properly. By the second treatment, I remember waking up in the morning after that treatment, and I went to go make myself breakfast, and I was thinking about my plans for the day, and I got a couple minutes into it and I realized that I was just neutrally thinking about what I was going to do for the rest of the day, and there was prior to that, I wasn't able to have a single thought about doing anything without dread and anxiety and why am I even here? I don't want to do all this. Being alive is too much work. I don't want to deal with it. And there was just a kind of clarity that I hadn't had in years. It was almost kind of scary at first, because I'm like, what do I do now that I'm not constantly talking myself out of these terrible thoughts? What do I think about now? And so that was kind of part of it, part of putting the puzzle back together. It was difficult for me to let go because of my anxiety, and I tend to fight it. And once I stopped fighting it, I could just kind of relax, and it was like having a really long dream or something. And the first couple of times I'm like, is this really gonna do anything? This is a really weird experience. I know something's happening right now, but how is this gonna change my brain? But it certainly did. He's the best psychiatrist I've had. I've had some pretty not good ones. And what I like so much about him is I could tell that he cared so much, and it meant so much to me. I'd been seeing him for a long time, and we'd been trying different medications and things just weren't working. And with psychiatrists I had seen in the past, once we hit that point where they would just kind of be like, okay, well, all I can really do is refill your prescription. But he did not want to give up on me. He's letting me know there are other options, and I could just tell that it really meant a lot to him to, he really wants to help people. It's scary to have hope, but I am so incredibly grateful that I took the leap and that I made the investment. I was scared of, wasting the money on nothing and still being in the same place that I was, and it was the best money I've ever spent. Everything about my internal world has changed for the better.